Welcome back. President Trump is now weighing in on the Bryan Kohberger plea deal. The president urging the judge to make Kohberger answer why he committed the murders of 4 University of Idaho students during his upcoming sentencing hearing.
He wrote on Truth Social, quote, "These were vicious murders with so many questions left unanswered. While life imprisonment is tough, it's certainly better than receiving the death penalty. But before sentencing, I hope the judge makes Kohberger, at a minimum, explain why he did these horrible murders. There are no explanations. There's no nothing. People were shocked that he was able to plea bargain. But the judge should make him explain what happened."
With that, let's welcome in David Gelman, defense attorney and former prosecutor, and Dwane Cates is here as well, criminal defense attorney. Welcome to you both. Oh, David, you know, it's finally, we're going to see the sentencing here tomorrow. We'll be watching for that to come down. I mean, I think we're all expecting life in prison when you are pleading guilty to 4 murder charges here. But to the president's point, will we actually have to hear why he committed these heinous crimes?
You know, Emma, the president shares exactly what the American people are probably feeling about this trial and about this individual, that he is a scumbag. He's a cold-blooded murderer who killed 4 innocent young individuals in a heinous fashion. The problem is that I know he wants the Kohberger to explain why he did it, and we all do, but I don't think that's going to happen. The judge has no authority to make Bryan Kohberger say why he did it prior to sentencing. And the judge can't say, well, you know what, I'm not going to sentence you to your plea deal if you don't say why you did it. It's just not how the justice system works, not how the Constitution works. So there really isn't a mechanism to do that. Will he actually say why he did it tomorrow? I'd highly doubt it, but, you know, anything's possible.
And to Dwane, there's also 2 sides to this, obviously. There's some who want to know what was the motive. They probably think that it might provide some closure. On the other hand, for some family members, we've seen reporting suggesting, you know, that this will cause them, to the extent he does talk, to basically feel the pain once again. What do you think ultimately happens in the trial? And do you think that at the end of the day, the president has no discretion here and he's just watching this like us, but maybe his words will have some impact?
Well, yeah, number one, President Trump can't dictate what happens in this case. It's a state case, it's the state judge, and it's based on Idaho law. So he can make suggestions, but he can't make anybody do anything. Just like the judge can't make Kohberger say what happened. Again, you know, and they say, well, we should have had a trial, then we would find out why he did it. Well, no, you wouldn't. Okay, at trial, he has the right to remain silent. He doesn't have to say a word at trial. Okay, and very likely he's not at trial going to testify why he did these things. Okay, so I think the best the victims could get is Kohberger standing up and admitting that he did these things, and he saved everybody the trauma of a trial. And he's going to get 4 consecutive life sentences. He'll never see the light of day again. And whether he says why he did this or not is totally up to him.
Yeah. I believe he's been pretty tight-lipped throughout this whole process. So I don't know if tomorrow would be the day when he starts chatting and giving all the details, unfortunately, for those who are just waiting to hear that verbal closure. David, sometimes, though, maybe we see down the line, these folks write books. I mean, is this a possibility here? Is this a potential where we could expect that?
You know, Emma, you're reading my mind. This is a type of individual, in my opinion, who is a publicity hound. He likes this. You know, remember, he took this, he strung this proceedings out to the very end. And he said, you know what, I don't want to have a trial now. I'm going to plead. He reminds me of one of these infamous murderers who were doing this for publicity. I would not be surprised at all if he does write a book, or, you know, there's a docuseries about all this type of stuff, or he just starts to talk to the media about this. And, you know, he's got nothing else to do. He's going to be spending the rest of his life in a state penitentiary. So I would really think that that's going to happen. And it stinks because, you know, we're glorifying a murderer. We would really be doing that. But that's what we are in society now, and I hope it changes.
Horrible for the families, and if he does write a book and we have a TV series, it's just going to lead to re-victimizing these innocent people. Just horrible. Dwane, the one thing I'd ask is, do you think that the plea deal was actually justified? Why did they strike this deal? Should it have been done?
Well, there's always a bunch of different reasons for a plea agreement. In this case, while the state had a pretty good case, they had the DNA and they had everything, but you never know what a jury's going to do. There's the possibility, look at the O.J. Simpson case. There's a possibility that the jury comes back and says not guilty, okay? And then where are the victims, and then where's the prosecution? With a plea deal, everything's certain. Number one, the victims get to hear him say, I did it. It's me. I killed your daughter. I killed your son. Okay. So that's one part of it. And it's certainty. Everybody gets certainty at the end of the day in a plea agreement. And, the certainty is that Kohberger's never going to see the light of day again. And the victims got to hear him say he did it. Yeah. And that's kind of the best you get.
Yeah, and I've heard interviews from the victims' families also that they say, he'll get what's coming his way, ultimately.
Hope so.
We have to leave it there, gentlemen. David and Dwane, thanks so much for coming on today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.